Hello everyone and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we are going to see an interesting topic in agentic framework. We'll be understanding a concurrent AI agents. Now concurrent AI agent is nothing but running the AI agents parallelly to generate the response. Now why exactly it is important and how exactly we can achieve that, that's what we are going to see in this particular video. So please make sure to watch this particular video till the end. First of all, let's start with agent. So what exactly is the agent? So as you can see, agent is nothing but an AI unit with a specific role and instruction. Meaning for an AI entity or unit, we are giving some roles as well as some instructions. Based on that role and instruction, it is generating the response for us. That is nothing but the agent. So it's just the part of a AI unit which is powered by a large language model, and this is designed in order to solve a part of the problem. So as we know that if there is a complex problem, and in order to solve that complex problem, we need to categorize that particular complex problem into smaller task, and that task is assigned to these particular individual agent. So that is why the agents are designed for. Now let's understand why there is a need for this concurrent AI agent. As you can see, concurrent agents are nothing but we are passing a input, and that same input we are passing it to multiple different agents, and these different agents are responsible to generate respective output on the same input. So as you can see, agent 1 is generating a solution. Similarly, agent 2 is also generating the solution, and same is the case for agent 3. But these three agents are the three different personas. So based on the prompt that is given to these three agents, it is generating the response. So basically, this is in order to capture the wide variety of thinking from the agent perspective. Then you might be thinking that why do we need the multiple agents in this case? We can give the multiple perspective to the same agent in a prompt, and then it will generate the response. True. But in that case, what will happen? It will take more amount of time to generate the response one by one. So it will kind of generate the perspective first, second, and third, and then it will give the final response. In order to speed up that activity, what we can do is we can have agent 1 with particular perspective, 2 with another perspective, 3 with its own perspective, and then we can pass the same input at a time to these three agents, and they will generate the three responses on same time and give that response to the collector, where collector will aggregate all the results and send it to the final response. So that's the complete understanding of concurrent AI agent. Let's understand this with the help of simple example. So we have understand what exactly is this concurrent orchestration, where multiple agent runs in parallel on the same input, and each agent works independently. Basically, it generates its own perspective, and then the results are aggregated. So let's say we have built a three agent: research agent, marketer agent, and legal agent. And those three agents are having their own perspective. Research agent task is to do the research and collect the information required based on our input. Marketer agent is responsible in order to do the market study. And similarly, legal agent is in order to understand or find out the intellectual information related to the legal entities. Let's say we are passing an input, we are launching a new budget friendly electric bike for a urban communities. Now, in this case, once we pass this input, the same input is passed to these three different agents at a time, and then research agent will do the analysis and generate the response based on the perspective given to the research agent. So in this case, it will go ahead and check the research, what are the competitive other vehicles available. It will find out the scope of that particular vehicle. It will do all the study, and then it will give the response. Similarly, marketer agent will identify the which market to target, what are the audience to focus on for advertisement, and all those details information it will capture. And legal agent will try to understand the legal entities, like for example, it will try to identify what are the norms and laws available for that particular electric vehicle. So it will identify the state in which, or the country in which you are basically focusing on selling this particular bike. So based on that, it will identify the laws for that particular state. Then it will also identify the discounts, if there are any subsidies available from the government. All that information it will capture. So as you can see, these three agents will capture three different personal information, and that personal information with these three different perspectives will be collected, and that is where we are generating the final response. So you might be thinking, why do we need these multiple perspectives? So there are use cases where you need these particular perspectives, like let's say if you want to do any design decisions, if you want to do any brainstorming, if you are coming up with any new idea, in those cases, these kind of solutions definitely helps. And in those cases, instead of fully relying on a single agent to generate the response, we ideally focuses on giving the opportunity for multiple perspective agents, and we are utilizing their intellectual power to come up with a final response. Now, let's understand why this concurrent execution is important. So first of all, it is faster execution, as we already seen that parallel execution, that's where you no need to wait for each perspective to generate the response, and that's where it is faster. Diverse perspective, we have already seen that each persona is basically instructed to generate the response based on the requirement given to that particular agent. Then ensemble learning or ensemble reasoning. Obviously, in case of design thinking decision, we don't only focus on, or we not only rely on one agent perspective. Instead, we want to think from the complete perspective, complete 360-degree we need to focus on, and that's how we need to generate the response. So that's how the ensemble reasoning, which will take the input from multiple these individual agents and generate the final response. And again, this is ideal for decision making, brainstorming, and validation systems like voting and ranking. So I think enough of theory. Now let's understand how exactly we can build these particular concurrent systems, concurrent agent systems, multi-agent systems in a Microsoft Agent Framework. So we'll be leveraging a Microsoft Agent Framework tool in order to, which is a open source agentic framework from the Microsoft, which we can leverage in order to build this particular concurrent execution orchestration framework. And for this, the prerequisite is we will need an active subscription on Azure so that we can use the GPT-4 model. We'll be using these models. I'll talk about those models once we start using into that. So let me quickly jump onto the coding part. Okay, so I have opened my Visual Studio Code. So first of all, now we have a extension available on VS Code to directly connect our VS Code to the Agent Foundry service, or directly connect it to the Microsoft Foundry. Now earlier this was Azure Foundry, but now they have renamed it to Microsoft Foundry. So you can go to extension and you can search to Foundry. And once you search to the Foundry, you can see Microsoft Foundry. This is the extension. You can install this particular extension, and once you install that, that extension will start populating on here. If you see, I have already enabled this particular extension. Now, in order to connect to this particular extension, click on this, and as you can see, let me hide this. Go to resources and click on create project or set default project. So it will ask you to sign in. So if you see, click on sign into Azure. This will allow you to sign into your Azure account. So I already have one active subscription available. If you don't have, please go ahead and create a free service, or you can create an active subscription by selecting pay as you go service. So I'm going to enter my details here. So let me select another sign-in way, and I'll select approve request on the Authenticator app. So I got request on my mobile. I'm just approve it. Okay, so I have approved the request. Okay, so the sign-in is completed. So I'm able to log into my Azure account. Now, as you can see, either I can select a default project or I can create a new project. So I already have created one project on the Microsoft Foundry. That is a MEF tutorial. Let me go ahead and show you that quickly. So as you can see, this is the one service that I already created. So what we can do is, and this is my Microsoft Azure subscription. So what we can do is we can go ahead and create a new. So create a project. Here I can select a existing resource group. You can see. So from here itself, you can go ahead and create the resource group as well as create the Foundry resources. So I'm going to use my existing resource group, and for the project, I'm going to give name as Concurrent Agent. This is my name. Okay, you can see it is creating a project. So let's wait for that. Okay, you can see the service has successfully been deployed. So if you want, you can go ahead and cross check that. So here I can go ahead and refresh, and I can go to this particular resource group. And as you can see, concurrent agent resource has been created. So from the VS Code itself, now you can dynamically create these services. You no need to come to this particular Foundry portal. Now let's go ahead and create. Okay, you can see this is the resource that we have selected, concurrent agents. Under models, you can see we don't have any model. So first step is to go ahead and deploy the model. So let me go ahead and click on add. And you can see these are the wide variety of models that are available. So let me go ahead and search GPT-4o or GPT 4.1. Okay, this is the model that we'll be using. Click on deploy. So this will take us to the screen where we can select the model configuration for deploying. Okay, so you can see This is the project, this is the connected resource under which we are creating the model. All these information is given. Then tokens per minute. So I can select, let's say 10K tokens per minute. This is more than enough for me to test it. Content filter, I can keep it default. If you want to learn more about that, please explore my YouTube channel. I already covered all those details. Then deploy to Microsoft Foundry. So this will deploy this particular GPT 4.1 model. And once it is deployed, I'll show you how exactly you can go ahead and check out that model as well. Okay, you can see the model is successfully deployed and it is available here. And if you want, you can go ahead and edit that model. You can copy the endpoint URLs and all that information. Now, let me show you that. So if I go to this particular Foundry portal, you will be able to see under the deployment sections, the model, the deployed model. So this is a new Microsoft Foundry UI basically. Let me switch to the older one. Okay, and under models and endpoint section, so if you see, as you can see, GPT 4.1 model is already deployed. This is what we have already deployed it from the VS Code. Now come back to our VS Code. Let's close this. Now the next step is to go ahead and write the code. So let's go ahead and create one file, agent.py. Then we will also need requirements.txt, and we'll also need .env. Those are the three files required. So let me go ahead and quickly copy the requirements. So we will be needing these three requirements: python.env, Azure Identity. This is basically to connect to the Microsoft Agent Foundry through a managed identity. And then the agent framework, which is a Microsoft Agent Framework open source, which is a open source Microsoft Agent Framework. Now let's get started. Let me open the terminal, and we'll be using UV as a Python package manager. So let's use UV venv. This will go ahead and create the virtual environment. You can see it has used Python 3.12, which is installed in my local. And this is the command to activate it. So let's go ahead and quickly activate it. Okay, so the activation is done. Now what we can do is quickly, let's install the dependencies. UV pip install -r requirements.txt. So this will go ahead and install the dependencies. Does not contain any dependencies. Sorry, I missed to save the file. So let's go ahead and install it. You can see it is installing. Okay, Microsoft. Okay, there are a couple of dependencies that are currently in preview on Microsoft Agent Foundry. That's where while installing the dependencies, we need to allow this particular pre-release. So after this requirements.txt, you can select -hyphen pre-release allow, and this will allow you to install the dependencies. You can see dependencies are getting installed. Okay, done. Now let's start writing the code. It's going to be very simple. So we are importing the OS and async IO. This is basically in order to execute the code parallelly to enable the synchronous parallel execution. So you can see we are importing the Azure OpenAI response client from agent framework.azure. Then we are importing Azure client credential. This is basically in order to connect to the Azure securely, and this is to basically create the agents. Then we have .env in order to load the secret. This is done. Now, one important thing is that we need to copy the two parameters. So first one is in the environment config, we need to set two environment configs. First, we need to pass the Azure OpenAI endpoint, and that we can get it by going into this project. And from here, you can copy the project endpoint. And second, we can pass the model. So GPT 4.1 is the model that we are using. So this is done. Now let's go ahead and create the agent. So first one is we are creating a chat client. So with the help of Azure OpenAI response client, where we are passing project endpoint and deployment name and the credential in order to connect. So the first time if you are using this, you may need to use AZ login command, AZ login in order to connect to the Foundry or connect to the Azure. This will allow this will allow you to basically connect to your Azure account. And for that, you may need to, if you are getting AZ is not recognized as a command, then you will have to install the Azure CLI. So once you search on Google Azure CLI install based on your system, you can go ahead and install that. Not a big deal. So first of all, we have created the chat client. Now let's create the three agents that we discussed. So these are the three agents. First one is the researcher agent. Then we have marketer agent and legal agent. And you can see these three have their own instructions. So this is expert market and product research. This is creative marketing strategist. Then this is cautious legal compliance reviewer. So all these three have their unique instructions. And then now it's time to import the concurrent builder. So let's go ahead and import the concurrent builder as well. Again, this is available in the Microsoft Agent Framework. So this will help us to pass these three agents into a concurrent builder. So again, this is very easy. We just need to build a workflow where we can call concurrent builder and participant. We can call these three agents and dot build. Now with this, it will allow us to execute these three agents parallelly, concurrently, right? Now, let's import few details that are required in order to basically generate the response. Now let's go ahead and write the main function. So as you can see in the main function, we have just created an output data list, which is going to generate the output of output which is collected from these three different agents, which is nothing but our aggregator. If you see workflow.run, and we are passing this, we are launching a new budget-friendly electric bike for urban computers. And then stream equals to true, basically in order to print the response. And then we are collecting that event into this particular output data. You can see event.data, we are capturing it into this particular list. And if you want to print it, so this is the better way to print it. So with this, we can print where we will just print the author name as well. Author name in the sense this one, who is the actual agent to generate that particular response. And let's call the main function and we are done. So with this, now we can go ahead and run a synchronous call we are making to the main function, this one, and this will go ahead and invoke this particular workflow. Very simple. Now let's go ahead and run this particular file. So Python agent.py, let's run it. Hopefully it should work. Let's see. Okay, you can see it has generated the response. So let's analyze the response. Okay, so the first one, final aggregated conversation message. That is what we have printed here. Final aggregated message. The first one is the user. Obviously, we don't have any author name. That's where we are saying user. So user has passed this question. We are launching a new budget-friendly electric vehicle or electric bike for urban commuters. And then first one is the researcher who has generated the insight based on the market demand, whatever instructions that we have given, right? The expert market and product researcher. So it has generated this particular response, opportunities, then risk and recommendation. Then second one is the marketer. Now marketer is generating the response by thinking from the perspective of market analysis. So if you see value proposition, targeting messaging, both the agents have generated completely different response. You can see it has from the perspective of marketing, it has generated the response. And the third one is the legal, which has generated completely different response from the legal perspective. So if you see product compliance, safety standard, better regulation, local laws, the urban areas and municipalities may have specific e-bike definitions and requirements. So it has generated the response based on that perspective. You can see all. And that's how the final response is generated, which is the aggregated data of all the three agents, researcher, market, and the legal. So that's how now this is a design thinking phase of basically coming up with a electric bike into the market of urban areas. And then you cannot only rely on one agent to generate the response. And that is the reason we are learning this particular concurrent agent generation. And this is very wise decision nowadays organizations are focusing on in order to solve a design thinking or complex problems where they don't want to waste their basically time as well. They want AI agent to generate the response quicker, and also they want AI agent to generate the response from multiple perspective. So that's how we can achieve that with the help of Microsoft Agent Framework. I hope this was helpful for you, and if you are interested in more such videos, please go ahead and explore my YouTube channel. And also if you like this particular video, go ahead and like the video, subscribe to my channel, and share it with your friends. Thank you so much, and I'll see you soon in the next video. Thank you.